Hello and welcome students. In the last video lecture, we had completed exercise 2.1 of statistics chapter number 2, that is presentation of data. Now in this video lecture, I am going to start with a new topic of the chapter, that is classification of quantitative data. Classification of qualitative data. Already we have completed exercise 2.1, that was classification of quantitative data. Okay, so let us move on with the topic. As you can see on the board, I have written the heading, that is classification of qualitative data. It means the data which cannot be generally measured in terms of numbers, numeric figures, that are called qualitative data. Okay. Now, what is classification of qualitative data as written on the board? Systematic arrangement of qualitative or attribute raw data into rows or columns on the basis of standards of classification. It means any kind of standard, particular criteria is being decided. On that basis, the attributes or the qualitative data is arranged in rows or columns. That kind of classification in tabular form, that is known as classification of qualitative data. Okay. Now, after understanding the meaning of classification of qualitative data, let us understand there are two types of classification of qualitative data. The first one, that is simple classification. The word itself specifies that the classification is quite simple. Okay. Now, classification on the basis of single attribute when only one factor or one characteristic or one attribute is taken into consideration for classification of qualitative data, then it is called simple classification. You can see I have written one example, that is designation of employee. Suppose in a firm there are peon, clerks, managers, head clerks, and so on. There are different designations of the employees, and the number of employees are given side. Suppose there are clerks, then 10 peons, then there are 5, and so on. The criteria is being decided. There is only one there is only one attribute, one criteria. On that basis, the classification has been done, and that is designation of employee. And on that basis, the data has been divided of the employees. Okay, so when the classification is done on the basis of only one single attribute, then that type of tabulation is called classification of qualitative data as per simple classification. Okay. Next one, that is second one, manifold class. Manifold means more than one attribute. Okay. Classification done by considering more than one attribute. For example, designation and gender of employees. Suppose in the first example, what I have told, that is designation of employees. Suppose there are peon, clerk, managers, head clerks, and so on. There are 4 to 5 designations in a particular firm. Okay, and out of that designation, suppose there are 5 peons are there. Out of 5 peons, 3 are male and 2 are female. Suppose there are clerks. There are 10 clerks. Out of that, 7 are male and 3 are females. So in that way, 2 attributes or 2 qualities or characteristics that I have utilized for doing the tabulation of the given data. Okay, which two criteria that I have applied, that is designation and gender of employee. It means designation also I have considered in the tabulation, and even the gender of employee, that is whether that particular person is male or female. So when the classification is done by taking into consideration more than one attribute, then it is called manifold classification. Now students, the classification of the given data in tabular form can be done with 2 or more than 2 datas, 2 attributes also. But as per our course, you can see even in the textbook that maximum 3 attributes classification is being done in your textbook. So as per our syllabus, we'll consider that type of sums in which the data is to be tabulated or classified in maximum 3 attributes. Okay, so you can understand these 2 types of classification, that is simple classification and manifold classification. Now, after understanding these two types of classification, let us understand the uses of tabulation. Now, why this tabulation or to represent the data in table is important, or how it is useful to understand or classify the data by placing it in tabular form. Okay. The first one, that is represents extensive data in simple, organized and precise manner. Whatever the data that has been collected, that would be naturally in raw form. In order to that large data, that extensive data is simplified, is tabulated according to given criterias and organized. It has been classified into different categories and precise manner. In a very simple and short method, you can easily compute a large or extensive data in a simple and precise manner. Okay, so that is one of the advantage. Even the unknown or illiterate person also can identify from the given data. Next one, that is rows or columns are found in table. Naturally, table is there, then rows and columns would be there. So whatever the data that we have collected, that will be classifying it into rows and columns. Therefore, any error occurring due to oversight can be detected and eventually rectified easily. So as we are representing the data in tabular form, so easily the any kind of mistakes if we have done in noting down the data, then it can be easily identified. That can due to oversight. Due to oversight means any of the data by mistake we have written wrongly in the table, then that data can be easily identified and eventually we can rectify those data also. If the data is in raw form or in theoretical form, then some data might be skipped or some data might be written wrong due to lack of proper sight. So that the mistake or that limitation can be overcome with the help of tabulation form of data. Okay. So any kind of mistakes that can be rectified, that can be found out, and eventually that mistakes can be overcome or rectified. Next, second point was remaining. Time, money and labor is saved as unnecessary information is removed from data. Due to making the or classifying the data in tabular form, the time, money, energy is saved, because instead of writing the long data in theoretical form, it is more time consuming and tedious work. So to classify the data and to make that work more easy and more time saving, we are placing that data in tabular form. So time, money and labor is saved by presenting the data in tabular form. Okay. Now the last point is that analysis of tabular data can become more simple and convenient. If the data is given to you in theoretical form, in paragraph form, then it would not be easy to identify or come to conclusion or analysis from the data given in paragraph or theoretical form. Instead, if it is presented in the form of table, then you can easily identify that you can come to conclusion, you can come to analysis by just looking at the by just looking at the table. So analysis becomes quite easy from the tabular form of the data that you have been given. Okay, so analysis is simple and easier by this method of classification of data. Okay, so these are the advantages or the uses because of which the data has been classified into tabular form. Okay. Now, after understanding the uses of tabulation, let us take one practical example from your exercise 2.2. Because you should understand how to classify the data according to the attributes that are given in the question. Okay, so let us move on with exercise 2.2, that is on page number 42 of your textbook. First question that I am reading. There were 1400 students studying in a commerce college. Among them, 855 were boys, and of them, 225 boys were in second year. In the second year, the number of boys and the number of girls are equal. Among the 550 students of the first year, the proportion of number of boys and girls is 3:2. In the third year, number of boys is 3 times the number of girls. Represent the above information in a table. Now over here, after reading the question, First of all, the thing you have to identify is the number of attributes. Okay, you can, after reading the question, you can identify that there are two attributes in the question, that is year of study, that is first year, second year and third year, FY, SY and TY. And the second one, that is gender, boys and girls. Okay, so on that two attributes we have to classify the given data. So this is an example of manifold classification. Okay, so over here you can see I have made the table, year of study, FY. You can make it vertically also, you can make it horizontally also. If you are making year of study horizontally, then gender would come vertically. It depends upon the student, differs from student to student. Over here, year of study, FY, SY, TY, gender, in that boys and girls, and last column, that don't forget each and every time, that is total. Always the horizontal and vertical total should come equal. It means over here the total, that is horizontal 1400, in the same way the vertical total also should come, that is 1400. Then your answer is completely correct. Okay, so now let us place all the data according to the given statements in the question. First one that has been told, we'll read one line and place the given data in the table. There were 14 students studying in a commerce college. Total how many students were there in the commerce college? That is 1400. Now students, before starting you have to give the heading. Don't forget to give the heading, that is table showing students of commerce college. Whatever the question, according to that you have to write the heading of that particular table. Okay, so here I have given the heading, that is table showing students of commerce college. Now total how many students are there in the commerce college? That is 1400. It means total over here, that is vertically and horizontally, that would be total students over here, that is 1400. Okay, now next one, among them 855 were boys, 855 were boys. It means out of total 1400 students, 855 were boys. Okay, so total number of boys, you can see the total of boys is over here and total of girls is over here. Now total of boys that is given to you 855 in the question. So easily you can find the number of girls, total number of girls, by subtracting 1400 minus 855. Total students that are given to you 1400. Out of that the number of boys that are given to you 855. So you can easily find the total number of girls, that is 545. So all the data students will not be given to you in the question. You have to find the remaining data other than that are not given in the question, and that would be quite easy to find it out. Okay, so over here total students were given to you, number of boys were given to you. So easily we have found out by subtracting total from the number of boys, we have found the total number of girls, that is 545. So this last column we have cleared, we have got the answer. Okay, now moving on with the next line. Among them 855 were boys, and of them, out of 855 boys, understand the statement, out of 855 boys, 225 boys were in the second year. It means boys in the second year, that were 225. So here you can see boys column and second year. You have to match both the things together, that is boys and second year, that is 225. Okay, so I have placed over here 225 in the column of boys in second year. Okay, now moving on, in the second year the number of boys and the number of girls are equal. It means in the second year that many number of boys is equal to the number of girls. It means if there are 200 boys, then same amount of girls would be there. Over here you can see we have already placed, that is boys in second year, there are 225. So girls also would be same equal, it as told in the question. So girls also would be 225. So we have got the total number of boys and girls in second year. So 225 plus 225, total it would come 450 number of students in second year. Okay, now moving on further, among the 550 students of the first year. Now what has been told? Among the 550 students of the first year, it means total number of students in first year. It has not been specified that these many girls or boys, but it has been told total number of students in first year. So we'll place where? In the total of first year. Here it is first year, and total number of students, that is 550. Okay. Now further, the proportion of number of boys and girls is 3:2. It means directly it has been not told that boys are these many or girls are these many. It has been told that the proportion of girls and boys in first year in commerce college, that is in the ratio of 3:2. So we have to divide 550, that is the total number of students, in the ratio of 3:2. So you have to calculate 550 into 3 by 5. and 550 into 2 by 5. You will do, then you will get 330 and you will get 220 over here. Okay, so boys that would come to 330 and girls that would come to 220. So you have to place the data in the column of boys for first year, that is 330, and in the column of girls for first year, that would be 220, and total always it should come equal, that is 550. Okay, so now you have got the data of first year, you have got the data of second year, and now the remaining data, that is of the third year. Third year data has not been given to you in the question. You can see last line, in the third year number of boys is 3 times the number of girls. Last line that is given to you, that in the third year the number of boys is 3 times the number of girls. Okay, only it has been told that the boys are 3 times more than the number of girls. Suppose girls are 50, then 3 times boys, that means 150 boys would be there. Okay, so first of all we have to find the total number of students in third year. How we can find out? See, it has been given in the question, that is total number of students 1400. First year also given, that is 550. Second year that we have found out, that is 450. Now this value is not given to you 400 in the question, but we can find out, right? Total, that is 1400. Okay, out of 1400 we'll subtract the total of this two, that is first year and second year. First year and second year total, that would come to 1000, that is 550 plus 450, it would come to 1000. So 1400 minus 1000, so the total number of students in third year, that would come to 400. Okay, so now we have got the value of the third year total students, that is 400. Now we have to divide it into gender, that is boys and girls. Over here last line has been given in the question, that is number of boys is 3 times the number of girls. Okay, so suppose we are assuming that girls are x, then boys would be 3x. Okay, boys would be 3 times than that of girls, and total that has been given to you, that is 400. It means x plus 3x is equal to 400. Total number of students in third year, that is 400. So x plus 3x means 4x is equal to 400. So x is equal to 400 divided by 4 is equal to 100. Okay, so we have got the value of x, that is 100. Now what is x that we have supposed for girls? So the number of girls in third year, that would be 100. Okay, so you can see I have written third year ty, that is number of girls, that is 100, and number of boys, that is 3x. 3x means 3 into 100. So number of boys that came to 300. So in the column of third year, boys column, that I have written 300. Now we have got all the data related to first year, second year and third year, and always don't forget to write the column of total, and horizontally and vertically it should get tallied. You can see over here, if you do the total vertically, 550 plus 450 plus 400, it would come to 1400, and horizontally also, that is 855 plus 545 you will do, then you will get the total, that is 1400. It means each and every data is correct according to our table. So that's the end of the sum. So in this way you have to find the remaining data other than that given in the question. Tricks or ideas or clues always will be given in the question. So that's all for today, students. In the next video lecture we'll be continuing with the same exercise. Till then, keep practicing from the video lectures. Goodbye, keep practicing, stay blessed.